I saw her on a TV show, and I had never seen her before, and I said, that's it.
Robert Redford, beloved by audiences, but not always by his co-stars. Uncover the surprising truths about his relationships with Gene Hackman, Dustin Hoffman, and more. What really happened behind the scenes of your favorite films? Hollywood has always loved its golden boys, and few shine brighter than Robert Redford. At 88, he's a legend. His calm, composed demeanor a beacon in the chaos of Tinseltown. But what if I told you that behind that polished exterior, Redford faced storms, clashing with some of the industry's biggest names? These weren't just disagreements, they were battles of style, ego, and vision that left lasting marks. Today, we peel back the curtain on Redford's most challenging collaborations, revealing stories that might forever change how you see some of Hollywood's greatest films. First, let's talk about Gene Hackman. A titan of raw emotion, Hackman brought an intensity to his roles that was both electrifying and, at times, overwhelming. In 1969, he joined Redford on the set of Downhill Racer, a film about an ambitious skier chasing Olympic glory. Both were rising stars, Redford fresh off Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, Hackman riding the wave of Bonnie and Clyde. Expectations were sky high, but their approaches couldn't have been more different. Redford, a master of quiet discipline, meticulously planned every scene. Hackman, however, thrived on instinct, his performances often erupting with unpredictable energy. This contrast sparked tension. During one pivotal scene requiring delicate emotion, Hackman, frustrated by a lighting setup he deemed unflattering, reportedly barricaded himself in his trailer, halting production for nearly an hour. The director's pleas went nowhere, so Redford stepped in. He marched to Hackman's trailer and, in front of the crew, declared, "Gene, this isn't your show alone. We're a team. Act like it." Hackman emerged, but the rift was set. They barely spoke off camera for the rest of the shoot. Redford later admitted, "He's one of the greats, but his intensity could be a lot." Though Downhill Racer succeeded, their paths never crossed on screen again, each carving out iconic careers. Hackman later retiring to write novels in New Mexico. Then there's James Woods, a name that stirs a different kind of storm. Known for his razor-sharp intellect and outspoken conservative views, Woods was a force of nature, but one Redford found impossible to harness. They never shared a film, but Woods auditioned for roles in Redford's projects, including a legal thriller in the late 1980s. Redford, a vocal advocate for environmental and liberal causes, valued harmony on set. Woods, however, brought chaos. In one audition, he delivered a flawless performance before veering into a heated debate about Cold War politics, challenging Redford's views mid-read. Barely 2 minutes in, Redford closed his script and walked out, later saying, "If I wanted a lecture, I'd enroll in a university." Casting directors whispered about the fallout, with Redford's notes reportedly marking Wood's name with a stark, "Never again." Their clashing philosophies, Woods' brash conservatism versus Redford's measured progressivism, made collaboration unthinkable. Woods went on to star in films like Casino, but Redford's sets remained a no-go zone. What could have been a dynamic pairing never materialized, leaving us to wonder what might have been. Even Dustin Hoffman, Redford's co-star in the legendary All the President's Men, wasn't immune to tension. On screen, their portrayal of journalists Bob Woodward and Carl Bernstein was electric, unraveling the Watergate scandal with gripping precision. Off-screen, their styles clashed. Hoffman, a method actor who immersed himself deeply in his roles, often improvised, throwing curveballs that disrupted Redford's carefully crafted rhythm. Redford, who thrived on preparation and structure, found Hoffman's spontaneity jarring. During a newsroom phone call scene, Hoffman reportedly delivered 7 takes, each with a different tone and unscripted lines, testing Redford's patience. The crew felt the unease, though the final film was a masterpiece. Redford later reflected, "Once was enough." Their collaboration, while iconic, was a one-time deal. leaving fans to ponder what other classics they might have created together. These stories pull back the veil on Hollywood's golden era, showing that even the greatest films can hide turbulent undercurrents. Redford's clashes with these titans reveal the human side of stardom, where egos and artistry collide. But this is just the beginning. The story of Robert Redford's Hollywood journey doesn't end with the clashes we've already uncovered. Beneath the surface of his golden career, more storms brewed. Tensions with titans of the screen that tested his patience and reshaped his path. At 88, Redford's legacy as a cinematic icon is untouchable. But the untold stories of his collaborations reveal a man who valued harmony in a world of chaos. What secrets did these battles hold? And how did they shape some of the greatest films ever made? Let's dive deeper into the hidden struggles that defined Redford's craft. First, let's return to All the President's Men, the 1976 film that immortalized Redford and Dustin Hoffman as Washington Post reporters Bob Woodward and Carl Bernstein, unraveling the Watergate scandal. On screen, their chemistry was electric, a masterclass in storytelling that earned the film a place in the National Film Registry. But behind the camera, the air crackled with unease. Redford, a meticulous craftsman, arrived on set with every line and gesture mapped out, his focus razor-sharp. Hoffman, riding the wave of his method-acting prowess, thrived on spontaneity, often rewriting the script in the moment. During a tense newsroom scene, Hoffman improvised wildly, delivering take after take with new inflections, throwing off Redford's carefully calibrated rhythm. The crew watched in silence as Redford's frustration simmered. "We're telling a story here, not chasing whims," he reportedly told director Alan J. Pakula during a break. Pakula, a master at balancing egos, kept the set from unraveling, but the strain was palpable. Redford, who later directed masterpieces like Ordinary People, saw acting as a collective dance, not a solo performance. Hoffman's unpredictability felt like a spotlight grab. When reunion panels were proposed years later, Redford politely declined, his silence speaking volumes. Their masterpiece was undeniable, but the cost was a quiet agreement. One film was enough. Could two giants ever find common ground again? Then came Lions for Lambs in 2007, Redford's directorial gamble with Tom Cruise. On paper, it was a dream team. Redford, the voice of thoughtful cinema, and Cruise, the global superstar seeking depth. But from the first meeting, their visions collided. Redford wanted a raw, introspective drama about war and morality, weaving together stories of soldiers, a senator, and a professor. Cruise, also a producer, approached it like a branding exercise, obsessing over optics, lighting, camera angles, even poster designs. Redford, who once spent days perfecting a silent moment in Ordinary People, was stunned. "This isn't about storytelling, it's about selling," he reportedly muttered after a heated production meeting. Cruise arrived with a team of publicists, tossing around terms like market positioning, while Redford pushed for emotional truth. On set, the rift widened. Cruise halted takes to tweak his wardrobe, aiming for a disciplined silhouette, while Redford sought vulnerability. During one scene, Redford leaned in and whispered, "Are we acting or running a campaign?" The crew felt the chill. Post-production was no better. Cruise pushed for multiple edits of his scenes, clashing with Redford's vision until the studio sided with the star. The film flopped, earning a 27% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, and Redford skipped most of the press tour. He hasn't spoken to Cruise since. Was this clash of art versus commerce inevitable? The tension on 3 Days of the Condor was subtler but no less real. Faye Dunaway, fresh off her Oscar-nominated role in Chinatown, brought a fierce intensity to the 1975 thriller. Redford, at the peak of his box office reign, expected a seamless partnership. Instead, he found himself navigating a whirlwind. Dunaway's perfectionism was legendary. She demanded to review dailies, tweaked lines overnight, and questioned lighting setups already approved by director Sidney Pollack. Redford, who thrived on trust and momentum, felt bogged down. "We're here to find truth, not dissect every frame," he reportedly told a script supervisor. Their scenes crackled with intensity, but it wasn't just acting, the frustration was real. During a heated discussion about her character's motivations, Dunaway challenged Pollock's direction, leaving Redford caught in the middle. Finally, he snapped, "This is a spy thriller, Faye, not a Greek tragedy." The room froze. She returned the next day, professional but distant, and the shoot pressed on. Their on-screen chemistry was electric, but off-screen, warmth was scarce. Redford later opted for a body double in reshoots to avoid extra days with Dunaway. Years later, when asked about her, he offered a tight smile. "She's unforgettable." No sequels, no reunions. Did their brilliance come at too high a cost? The final clash takes us to the natural in 1984, where Redford shared the screen with Robert Duvall. Redford, as Roy Hobbs, poured his soul into the role, spending weeks perfecting every gesture to embody the mythic baseball hero. Duvall, a master of improvisation, approached scenes like a jazz musician, riffing freely. Their differences sparked early. During a crucial scene, Redford urged Duvall to stick to the script for emotional clarity, but Duvall pushed back, insisting on his instincts. The disagreement escalated into a rare shouting match with crew members exchanging wide-eyed glances. "I'm crafting a symphony here," Redford later said, "and he's playing free-form jazz." The film's magic endured, earning 4 Oscar nominations, but the set was a battleground. Redford's precision clashed with Duvall's spontaneity, leaving both men frustrated. They delivered performances for the ages, but at what personal toll? These clashes reveal the hidden cost of Hollywood's golden age, where brilliance often came with friction. Redford, a man of discipline and vision, navigated a world of egos and artistry, leaving behind films that defined an era. Hollywood's golden age was defined by larger-than-life figures, but few shone as brightly as Robert Redford and Paul Newman. Their partnership in Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid and The Sting wasn't just a cinematic triumph, it was a cultural earthquake. Yet beneath the laughter and charm, what hidden tensions simmered between these two icons? As we close this journey through Redford's storied career, we uncover the truth behind their bond and the legacy of a man who reshaped cinema. Picture the dusty trails of Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid in 1969, where Redford and Newman brought outlaws to life with effortless charisma. The film, grossing over $200 million worldwide and snagging 4 Academy Awards, was a masterclass in chemistry. Redford, then a rising star, found a kindred spirit in Newman, whose cool confidence lit up the set. "It was the fun of playing those characters that sparked our friendship," Redford recalled in a 2008 interview. Their days were filled with pranks and shared passions, from philanthropy to a love for the craft. But could such a perfect partnership last forever? By 1973, The Sting reunited them and the stakes were higher. The film, another box office juggernaut, won 7 Oscars, including Best Picture. But Newman, now a seasoned star with producer credits, wielded more influence. He arrived with studio executives offering notes on everything from scripts to camera angles. Redford, who cherished the purity of storytelling, felt the shift. "It wasn't 2 friends making a movie anymore," a crew member noted. "It was a power play." Redford kept his frustrations quiet, but the sting of being overshadowed lingered. He later confided, "Paul was the star and I was the shadow." Did this subtle rivalry reshape their bond? The tension wasn't about ego, but about vision. Newman's commanding presence, often described as nervous yet magnetic, clashed with Redford's disciplined approach. Their friendship endured, but it cooled into a polite distance. Scripts for a 3rd film, including a Butch Cassidy prequel, were pitched, but none felt right. "We knew the magic might not strike twice," Redford said. Their bond, forged in laughter, faded not with a bang, but with a quiet drift. Why did 2 legends, so perfect together, never share the screen again? Redford's career, however, was far from defined by this one relationship. His clashes with actors like Dustin Hoffman, Tom Cruise, Faye Dunaway, and Robert Duvall, as explored in parts 1 and 2, revealed a man who valued precision and collaboration. Yet, these challenges only sharpened his resolve. By 1981, he founded the Sundance Institute, a haven for independent filmmakers that launched careers like Quentin Tarantino's and Steven Soderbergh's. His directorial debut, Ordinary People, won 4 Oscars, proving his genius extended beyond acting. Redford's ability to turn adversity into innovation set him apart. How did one man transform Hollywood's landscape so profoundly? His entrepreneurial spirit extended to business ventures that reflected his values. The Sundance Resort, a 2,600-acre retreat in Utah, was a sanctuary for art and nature until its sale in 2020 to Broadreach and Cedar Capital Partners. The Sundance catalog, launched in 1989, brought his aesthetic to a wider audience before its sale in 2004. These ventures, alongside his film earnings, built a net worth of $200 million. Redford's real estate portfolio, including homes in Santa Fe, Aspen, and California, yielded significant profits, showcasing his knack for strategic investments. His signature red Rolex Submariner, worn in films like All the President's Men and The Candidate, became an emblem of his understated style. Unlike peers who flaunted Ferraris or private jets, Redford favored simplicity, reportedly declining a gold Submariner with, "I'm not a gold kind of guy." His business deals, like a stake in the Sundance Channel, and his focus on land preservation through conservation easements, reflect a philosophy of legacy over luxury. What can we learn from a star who prioritized purpose over flash? Redford's financial choices offer lessons in balance. His investments in real estate and Sundance ventures show a blend of passion and pragmatism, ensuring long-term wealth while staying true to his values. Unlike many celebrities, he avoided lavish spending, focusing on projects that aligned with his environmental and artistic ethos. His health and asset insurance policies, though private, likely mirrored his cautious approach, safeguarding his family and legacy. Reflecting on Redford's journey, we see a man who transformed challenges into triumphs. His early days as a scrappy kid in Santa Monica, stealing hubcaps and losing a baseball scholarship, seem worlds away from the icon who earned a Presidential Medal of Freedom in 2016. His collaborations, from the electric highs with Newman to the fraught battles with others, forged a career that redefined Hollywood. Today, at 88, Redford is largely retired, his last major role in 2018's The Old Man and the Gun. Yet, his influence endures through Sundance and the filmmakers he inspired. This saga of Redford's life, his artistry, his struggles, his quiet resilience, reveals the cost of greatness. Hollywood's spotlight casts long shadows, but Redford navigated them with grace, leaving a legacy that transcends the screen. As we close this journey through Robert Redford's remarkable life, it's clear his story is more than a Hollywood highlight reel. It's a saga of resilience, artistry, and purpose. From his early struggles in Santa Monica to his rise as a cinematic legend, Redford faced creative storms with co-stars like Gene Hackman, Dustin Hoffman, Tom Cruise, Faye Dunaway, Robert Duvall, and Paul Newman. These clashes explored across our series weren't just obstacles. They were the crucible that forged films like Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, All the President's Men, and The Natural, works that still captivate us today. His unwavering commitment to precision and authenticity, even when it sparked tension, defined his craft and set him apart. What does it take to create such timeless art amidst such challenges? Redford's answer lies in his work, a relentless pursuit of truth. Beyond acting, his vision reshaped cinema. Directing Ordinary People earned him an Oscar, proving his genius extended behind the camera. Founding the Sundance Institute in 1981, he gave independent filmmakers a platform, launching careers like Quentin Tarantino's and Steven Soderbergh's, forever changing the industry. Do his behind-the-scenes struggles make you see his performances differently? And what about his environmental work? Does it inspire you? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm excited to see what you think. If this deep dive into Redford's world resonated, give it a thumbs up and join our channel for more stories that peel back the curtain on Hollywood's greatest. Next up, we're tackling the chaotic making of The Godfather and exploring how streaming giants are reshaping the industry. You'll want to be there for those revelations. As we part, let's reflect on Redford's own words. I think the most important thing in life is to see the beauty in the ordinary things. I think that's what we're missing. Let's keep chasing that beauty in the films we love and in the world we share.